Challenges lie ahead for Trump. 6 key hurdles he's facing in 2026. Policy disputes will play out while the Justice Department continues to release documents about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, which have named Trump without accusing him of wrongdoing. President Donald Trump faces daunting challenges in 2026 once the holiday celebrations are done, including a familiar impasse over government spending, rising health care costs for millions of Americans, and midterm elections that threaten Republican control of Congress. The political disputes about spending minus and the possibility of another federal government shutdown minus will play out while waiting for a Supreme Court decision that could overturn tariffs central to the president's economic agenda that are projected to generate more than $3.3 trillion over the next decade. Beyond the domestic issues, foreign affairs also remain volatile for the two-term Republican president. Trump is seeking a peace agreement in the Russian war with Ukraine that's nearing its 4th anniversary. He is also working to keep the ceasefire in Gaza, where isolated skirmishes continue to erupt between Israel and Hamas, and the Justice Department's slow-motion release of documents about the investigations into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein could continue to drown out the political debate. The narrowly divided Congress is a consistent challenge across all the contentious issues, even though Trump's Republican Party currently holds majorities in both the House and Senate. Lawmakers approved only 61 laws in 2025, reflecting the polarization between the parties, like when only 34 laws were approved in 2023. Typically, lawmakers approve more than 300 bills in each two-year Congress. Republicans have little room to maneuver with majorities of 53 to 47 in the Senate and 220 to 213 in the House. The House margin will narrow when Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, R. Georgia, leaves Jan. 5. Two seats previously held by Democrats will be filled with special elections in Texas on January 31 and in New Jersey on April 16. In midterm elections, when the president's party traditionally loses seats, loom in November for the entire House and one-third of the Senate. Here are 6 contentious topics Trump will have to navigate in the new year: the lack of consensus about the overall federal budget and the details of Trump's priorities, including significantly boosting funding for immigration enforcement, prevented approval of most of the dozen spending bills needed to keep the U.S. government running each year, the impasse that sparked the longest shutdown in American history at 43 days focused on health care funding. A temporary spending bill expires January 30, setting up another showdown over priorities. Senate Democrats blocked approval of spending bills in the fall while arguing for an extension of subsidies for lower-income families to buy health insurance under the Affordable Care Act, which is also known as Obamacare. But Republicans refused, saying the program drove up insurance prices without improving care. The expiration of food benefits for 42 million people under the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program during the shutdown provided more pressure to end the impasse, but the temporary spending measure provided full-year funding for the Department of Agriculture, which restored SNAP funding, the Department of Veterans Affairs and the legislative branch. With SNAP off the table, lawmakers go back to the drawing board for spending bills in January. The expiration of Obamacare subsidies on December 31 is projected to double average health insurance premiums for 24 million Americans who participate in the program. Senators were unable in December to approve a Democratic proposal to extend Obamacare or a Republican proposal to deposit $1,000 to $1,500 annually into health savings accounts for eligible consumers. The House approved Republican legislation that aimed to lower health care costs. But without extending Obamacare, its chances of passing in the Senate are low. Challenges lie ahead for Trump. 6 key hurdles he's facing in 2026. Policy disputes will play out while the Justice Department continues to release documents about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, which have named Trump without accusing him of wrongdoing. President Donald Trump faces daunting challenges in 2026 once the